Hello again, it's David Thomas, Archivist at Cornwall Record Office on a somewhat damp Truro afternoon. Today we're going to talk about one of the Record Office's treasures from North Cornwall, which we've not featured much before, and it's called a book called the Stowe Atlas, and it's here on the table in front of me. And the first thing notice about this book actually, it's got solid silver covers and solid silver clasps, so it's extremely well bound. And we can see the edges on the four sides of the volume. It dates from the 1690s and records the land holdings of the manor of Kilkhampton, which belonged to the Grenville family. And we see here, for example, a good representation of what the village of Kilkhampton looked like at the time. And the first thing that strikes you is the strip field system, which is around the village on the southern and the eastern side of the village at that time. Here's the parish church, and in fact this area of open land to the west of the church is very much like that today. The set of maps was made by a famous map maker called Joel Gascoigne, who mainly worked in the home counties around London and that area. But in the 1690s he came to Cornwall, and one of his great projects was of course the Land Hydrock Estate Atlas, which is still in the house there, which dates from 1695 to 6. And he also mapped Cornwall as a whole and published it in 1699. In this book we think it's done around the same period, and he's actually dealing with different parts of North Cornwall. But the feature of the book is the remarkable coloured series of maps, and they have a title cartouche and also a compass rose, and all of the compass roses in the atlas are actually different. So it's an amazing volume showing what North Cornwall looked like at that time. And the care with which this was done was absolutely incredible. And also, if you compare the shapes of the fields to many of the 19th century Ordnance Survey maps, it is remarkably accurate. And all of the pages of the atlas are numbered in order. We have the field names, so if you're studying farm history, you can actually get a good picture of what your farm or your area looked like in the late 1600s. And here, for example, is another section of the atlas showing the village of Housefore in the manor of Kilkhampton. With this one, he's really gone to town with his pink ink and his red and his golds and all of the different colours that he's actually used to make this one of the Record Office's great visual treasures. It's a remarkable book, and it shows the high quality of map making that there was at that time. Here, for example, also is a scheme of Rowden in the manor of Kilkhampton. Again, notice the strawberries. Where have we seen them before? For instance, on our 1576 Buller Attainder document, they were certainly popular in the 16th and the 17th century. As I say, this is a really superb atlas, and we're very proud to have the custody of this here in the Cornwall Record Office. There are also a small amount of lands in it that relate to the last of the northern parishes of Cornwall, which is Stowe. Small amount of land in Stowe. If you're interested in house history or farm history in this part of North Cornwall, in Kilkhampton and in Stowe, this is the sort of material that you need to use in order to research your property and perhaps your family history as well. One final thing. Those of you who watch these videos regularly might wonder who the other person is on the end of the camera. It is our learning lead, Chloe Phillips. So a big thank you to Chloe for filming David's dazzling documents on a regular basis.
Thank you, David.